You are Locked On Syracuse, your daily podcast on the Syracuse Orange, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Welcome back, everyone, into Locked On Syracuse. I'm Jackson Holzer. The Orange fall in their first game of the ACC Tournament, 83-65 to NC State last night, ending their season until a possible NIT berth. They will almost certainly not be in March Madness for the third straight year. As I said off the top, barring a conspiracy to put Syracuse in, which I don't think will happen. What went wrong? The Judah Mintz technical foul, I thought, was the moment where the game was lost for Syracuse. That was the moment I thought it was lost. But as far as what really went wrong, Coach Autry said it. Turnovers and rebounds. Turnovers and rebounds. I have it right here that Syracuse gave up 16 offensive rebounds to NC State. And how many times in that second half, this is what drove me nuts. How many times in the second half did NC State miss a shot and the ball caromed off the rim in a weird way, and Syracuse would go up with two hands and couldn't catch the basketball? You know, it's like that Baylor guy at the end of the tournament where you go up with two hands to get a rebound and you come down with it. Well, how many times did we see Syracuse get their hands on the ball and not come away with possession? It seemed like it happened all the time, and it would lead to an NC State three-pointer immediately after. And apologies for my voice being a little bit hoarse. The game ended around 2 o'clock a.m. my time, and I'm recording this about 6 hours later. So apologies that my voice is going a little in and out here. It just was so frustrating how many times that happened. And the other thing that killed him, that Coach Autry said, was turnovers. Syracuse had 17 turnovers. A team that's one of the best in turnover margin had 17 against NC State. And I thought there was a really good question that was asked in the press conference, which was, was NC State seeing Syracuse for the third time? Did that really factor into what happened? And Coach Autry dismissed it. He said, no, NC State just played better. They played better. I kind of agree with him on it, but I don't know. I mean, yeah, you can. If you see a team three times, you can anticipate them more about what they're going to do. You can kind of see, like, okay, when Quadir Copeland drives down the lane and turns his head, you know where he's going to pass it, which felt like a lot of times in this game was to NC State. I don't have the number of turnovers that Copeland had on the top of my head, but it seemed like a lot. Oh, it was a lot. I was right. See, I love when I then check the stats just to make sure that my theory is correct. Quadir Copeland had 6 turnovers. 6. And I love Quadir Copeland, and he should have been the 6th man of the year because he's a true 6th man. But you can't have 6 turnovers, and you got to work on your decision-making. There were multiple instances where he drove down to the lane and just would throw it to the other team. He would just throw it to the other team. Would he panic? I don't know if necessarily panic is the right word. He would just throw it to NC State. You can't do that. Amazon Fire TV is the place I get the top streaming apps and channels for movies like TV and for Syracuse games with the NIT possibly coming around the corner. Fire TV is your destination for sports, from live games to highlights to in-depth analysis. Fire TV offers amazing viewing experiences with smart TVs, as well as the Fire TV stick that you can plug into your existing TV. That provides access to millions of movies and TV episodes, as well as free and live TV. Whether it's opening weekend for baseball or the college basketball tournament, you're going to want to have a Fire TV. Fire TV recently created Fire TV channels to deliver a constant supply of the latest videos from your favorite sports brands, all for free. That includes all of us at Locked On and most of the big pro leagues and college conferences as well. Fire TV channels lets you dive into all the game analysis, highlights, and more to keep up to date on all the latest in the world of sports. March Madness, NBA, MLB, and lots more. Not to mention great news, entertainment, gaming, travel, cooking videos as well. Check out Fire TV channels on Fire TV and Alexa devices. If you haven't checked out Fire TV channels, you should. Trust me on this. To learn more, visit www.amazon.com/LockedOnFireTV. Did you know that even if you have a 401k for retirement, you can still have an IRA? Robinhood has the only IRA that gives you a 3% boost on every dollar you contribute when you subscribe to Robinhood Gold. But get this, now through April 30th, Robinhood is even boosting every single dollar you transfer in from other retirement accounts with a 3% match. That's right, no cap on the 3% match. Robinhood Gold gets you the most for your retirement thanks to their IRA with a 3% match. This offer is good through April 30th. Get started at Robinhood.com/boost. Subscription fees apply. And now for some legal info. Claim as of Q1 2024, validated by Radius Global Market Research. Investing involves risk, including loss. Limitations apply to IRAs and 401ks. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold for 1 year from the date of first 3% match. Must keep Robinhood IRA for 5 years. The 3% matching on transfers is subject to specific terms and conditions. Robinhood IRA available to U.S. customers in good standing. Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC, is a registered broker-dealer. There were other instances where Syracuse would be moving with pace and there would just be an errant pass where it would once again, kind of like the rebounds, it would carry them off their hands because they couldn't catch it. Did someone rub banana peel off of these guys going into the game? Did someone just take a banana and just brush it all over their hands? Because they couldn't catch the ball. Thank goodness these guys aren't playing for Syracuse football. Oh, we'd be screwed next season if they were the receivers. They couldn't catch anything. And I don't really know what the solution to that is. I don't know. The ball's on the ground, you have it, and you lose it. That's really that the moment they lost was the Judah Mintz technical. But the reasons this team lost in general were turnovers and offensive rebounds. And those offensive rebounds and turnovers kind of stemming from they can't catch the basketball when they have a chance to. It's just disappointing all around because you want to believe that this team is better than it actually is. And I think here's the main takeaway of everything. You want to believe that they're better than they are. This team doesn't have enough. As presently constructed, if they were to go into next season, I don't think they have enough. And it sucks because next year is tournament or bust. There are no excuses. I like Judah Mintz, and I really hope he returns. But he does have his flaws, right? He's still not a great shooter. I like J.J. Starling, but he's really not consistent enough. Only 9 points. He's not consistent enough. I like him. I'd rather him be a third option. Chris Bell, he's the only real shooter on the team, but I think he sometimes is asked to do more than what he's capable of. I think he's a really good shooter, but when I talked about the keys to the tournament, I was saying, they're 9-0 when he scores at least 18 points. Chris Bell is not someone who's going to average 18 a game. He's not that dude. He's good in spurts, but you can't ask him to be a superstar here. And I like Copeland, But Copeland has his faults. He needs to work on his decision making. He's very good in his role, and I don't necessarily want to see that role change, but it might change next year. He might be the starting point guard next year. And I like Malik Brown, but he's asked to play center. He's not a center. He's 6'8". He's a power forward, asked to play center. Not his fault. Naheem McLeod got hurt, and they have no one else behind McLeod. But that's just how it is. You want to believe, and everyone else on the team, I mean, Kyle Cuff did nothing. Justin Taylor, I mean, nothing really. I mean, what else? Peter Carey, he played 1 minute, and that's about it. It's so funny because every time I look at these box scores, Benny Williams is still listed on it. You just want to believe that these players are better than they are. You really do. And they're not. They're quite frankly not good enough, which is going to lead to the next topic, which is what does Syracuse need to do from here?